a very good evening from Fools Rush In. Thank you very much for joining us live. It's been just under 2 years since we started this. We've seen a relegation, we've seen a failed playoff attempt, but more importantly, as a group, we've gained some lifelong friends, and we've been humbled by the support online from our fellow Swindon Town fans, and that has brought us to where we are now, our first ever live episode. Thank you very much for joining us, and for the first time live, can I say welcome to Fools Rush In.
Take my hand, take my whole life too, but I can't help falling in love with you.
And let's get straight in with the introductions for tonight's panelists, starting with one of our original members, a man who has had a major impact in what we're classing as success in Fools Rush In. Can I say a very good evening to Woody Adam Wood? How are you, pal?
Hi, mate. Really excited for tonight. Not too bad. I hope you're well too.
I am very well.
Almost had a tear in that introduction, mind.
Well, I have to say a massive, massive thank you to Mark and James Nichols, who designed that interpretation of the song for us. And someone else I want to say a massive thank you to is our next panelist. And that is Craig, who helped us assemble the video montage at the same time. Good evening, pal.
Yeah, evening, Fifey. Good to be on, mate.
It's very good to have you on. Delighted you could make the Friday night episode. I think it's only fair we bring in another original and one of our all-time favourites. Let's bring BTB in. Good evening, Ben.
Evening, Fifey. How are you today?
Very, very well. And thank you. We've got the likes of Gavin already in the live chat. And Craig, just for you, we've got first live comment since it went live. Go Dad from Gracie.
Oh, God. I'm worried now. I'm going to have to behave myself.
Let's add someone else to the panel, shall we? And it's our newest member. Welcome to the live show, Nick.
Hi, Fifey. All good here. Got the shirt on. Glass of red wine. That's got to be a bad combination, but we'll give it a go.
You are very, very brave to be having a red wine with a white shirt, that's for sure. But delighted that you could join us for the live show. Anyone for any more? Let's add a Ned to the mix. Without question, one of the nicest guys I have ever met. How are you, Ned?
Honourable introduction there. I'm very well, thank you. Very nervous, but I'm very excited.
I'm glad that you are excited, and nerves are a good thing. Nerves are a good thing. I would expect the players tomorrow to be a little bit nervous and a bit excited as well. We will come to questions in a moment. Let's add some more to the mix, and arguably the most well-known and connected man in all of Swindon. Good evening, Warren. How are you, pal?
Oh, behave. The football season is back, gents, and this is going to be class.
I was on Lower League Look earlier, and I used the saying, it's like Christmas Eve, isn't it, mate?
It is very much so like Christmas Eve. We've got the telly on in the background just so we can have a quick browse up, but it's very, very exciting.
I've got two more to add to the mix, so let's get straight into it. And a man who is fairly new to the panel, but has worked extremely hard on what we've put out tonight. Let's welcome Parody Clem Morfuni himself. Welcome, Mark. How are you, pal?
Good evening, Stephen. I'm very well, thank you. Nearly didn't make it this evening. I didn't tell you, but I did have a separate invitation up to a party in your neck of the woods. But unfortunately, I got a text from Jamie Vardy earlier on, and apparently Rebecca's no longer having a party, so I wasn't available afterwards.
Superb. And let's be honest, so it's obviously very early days, and we're not saying it won't happen, but you've been very relaxed all day, haven't you, Mark, until about 10 minutes ago, where you had a case of the Woody Wi-Fi's.
It did have a case of the Woody Wi-Fi's. I was really panicking for a moment just before we came on air, but hopefully it seems stable now.
It seems okay for now. Let's add one more to the mix, and we are blessed. He's only here because it's a big occasion. Welcome back to the panel, Kieran. How are you, pal?
Oh, sorry, it's me, is it now? You saved the best till last. Yeah, it's all good. Just literally got back from Wales and came straight on because I'm good like that.
Well, we are delighted you could make it on, and let's get straight into the conversation. And again, live chat is up, so by all means, anyone watching can join in the discussion. Let's talk about pre-season, if we can, and we've had an interesting one ourselves. We've had lots of quizzes. We've tried to have lots of fun over the course of the close season right up to where we are now. But we've also had some interesting episodes, and I'd like to bring some of you in on that. So most importantly for me and Ned, I'm sure you'll agree, we did the mental health episode during the close season, didn't we? And that seemed to get a really good reaction, which I'm delighted about. Great start, Ned. Yes, Ned.
That should be Ned.
I didn't even say Ned. Sorry. But yeah, it was fantastic. It was like attending a GA meeting or an AA meeting. It was good therapy to get a lot of stuff off the chest. And as is, I'm not sure if anyone sort of got anything major from it, but it's a lot of people appreciate the fact that we sort of opened up our hearts and spoke from the heart. So I mean that was pretty special. Yeah, I got a lot out of that. So thank you to everyone, and you, Fifey. Thank you.
No, thank you all and everyone who took part in the episode. I certainly got a lot out of it as well. The comments we got back, I know you were getting personal ones straight to you, Ned, as well, and I think Craig, among others, did as well, getting direct messages. So it was lovely that it got the reaction it did. And if anyone hasn't seen it, please do go back and watch it. It was quite a hard night, but it was a very good night to do. Another one of my favourite pre-season moments, Craig, was our chat, me, you, and Rich, with Jamie about what it's like as a player in pre-season.
Yeah, I mean, like I said at the time, it was a fascinating insight into the world of a lower league player, really, going in between clubs and trying to prepare yourself for pre-season, and the sort of mental strength and the challenges that he's had to go through was quite extraordinary. I think, like I said on Twitter afterwards, he's been extremely unlucky in his career. And, I really hope that he gets a club that he can play for, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, because he certainly deserves it. But yeah, that was, I really enjoyed doing that episode.
And you have reintroduced the idea of defend the indefensible, which we've been plugging for the last few episodes. And we have a game at the end of tonight, which is, it's certainly going to be interesting. All the guys are very excited about our live episode. Ben, we've had a question sent in specifically for you, so let's attack that one early, if we may. I'll bring it up on the screen. It's from our friends at Lower League Look. How does Ben feel the night before the relegation campaign?
Oh, really? Hello, Liam. I hope you had a nice evening, fella. Yeah, it's all excitement, isn't it? I'm buzzing for tomorrow. Who knows what next season can bring, but I'm quite intrigued and excited to see how this new squad measures up. I'm sure he'll do well and do us proud.
Well, let's discuss the squad. And Warren, I'll bring you in first. We've obviously done our predictions episode and stuff, but here we are, the eve of the new season kicking off. There is championship action on telly now. So the season is real, because Sky only show championship football. But when you look at, if you go right back to the day after Port Vale to where we are now, we've seen a lot of personnel go to Charlton. We've seen lots of rumours of managers coming in and players coming in, and that maybe did or didn't happen. How do you assess the night before where we are? Are you quite comfortable?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I think we've done some good business. We've lost a couple of players, which I think we expected. Whether that was down to obviously what league we were in, which is obviously the big thing. Staying in League Two, we knew we were going to lose a couple of these players.
Obviously, the biggest miss for us is Jack Payne. But like Ben's alluded to on previous episodes, and we've all alluded to, we've replaced Wow, and I feel like we've got a good enough squad now. Maybe just one light at the top end of the pitch, but I feel like that we've got a good squad. We've kept a bit of continuity from last year by employing Lindsay and keeping him on board. And I'm really excited for the season, and let's see where it can take us again.
Mark, that's an interesting point, actually, that I wanted to come on to next. There was a lot of rumor, hearsay about who was going to be the new manager. Then it didn't exactly get the most positive reaction when it was announced, but the more Lindsay appears like in the media and does that kind of thing, the more fans seem to be warming to him, which is important that there's that the positive vibe is back going into the first game.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's very much his own man, and I mean, it was, you know, from his first interview to the interview the other night on BBC Wiltshire, he's quite enigmatic. He seems very focused. He knows what he wants. He knows how he wants the team to play. He's very aware of engagement with the fan base, and has talked through there being several options in terms of formation within the team, and he's made all the right noises. He's saying all the right things. I think, you know, the squad that's been put together gives us depth across the park, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And I would like to think that the fan base now is very much behind him. He doesn't come across as somebody who's just giving out sound bites. It's all very genuine. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it. Bring it on.
No, bring it on, indeed. Woody, obviously, you know, from a coach's perspective, what's it like going into opening day of a season? We were talking, and we mentioned it in the intro, that blend of nerves and excitement. Do you think even at pro level, that's still going to be a thing going into tomorrow?
I think excitement, yes. It's difficult to say with nerves, because I think if you asked a player genuinely, they would say no. But they might try to not demonstrate it as such. But I think excitement is definitely that. You know, it's these guys, although they're paid to do what they do, they're there because they're playing the job they love. So I think there would be excitement. You only have to look at football players' social media, really. You know, I know they do a lot of lip service for the fans, but you only have to look and you know they're excited. Pre-season games are nothing. You know, like you can see them playing pre-season games and they kind of just can't wait for it to go, to be finished. So I think from a manager's perspective, especially if you're a new manager like Scott Lindsay is in this case, you would be nervous and excitement because it is his big break. It is, you know, something that he's probably been waiting for a long time. He's been very vocal about that's what he's been waiting for a very long time. So he will be nervous. But I think, unfortunately, the entertainment industry, you can't show your nerves. And regardless of whether we see sport as entertainment or not, it is the entertainment industry.
No, it's a very, very valid point. Ned, yourself, we're at the end of pre-season now. The transfer window obviously isn't closed yet, but are you quite comfortable with how Town sit going into game number one?
I mean, personally, I'm very comfortable. The only thing I would say is just, you know, we do lack that one striker possibly, but I don't see no reason why, you know, McCurdy, I'm so sorry.
We'll give you a couple of games to get it, Ned.
Yeah, that's the one. Yes, please, thank you. And also Wakelin. I mean, I don't see why that three shouldn't fire on all cylinders, to be perfectly honest. I think it's likely that we're going to have two up front anyway. So McCurdy and I'm just going to call him Tommy, if you don't mind.
Tommy Adeloy.
Adeloy. Right, yeah. I'll remember it now because I've said it in a stupid voice. So, yeah, I mean, Adeloy and fuck's sake,
McCurdy.
Adeloy and McCurdy will be absolutely fine together. I can see them working really well, but we've got Wakelin to come off the bench. It's just having that one extra name would be appreciated. I think across the midfield we look absolutely fine. I think there's enough cover in the wing back situation as well, and I think the centre backs look fantastic. I mean, not to there's a lot of good young players coming through, so even if we do have a little injury crisis, I do believe that we've got enough youngsters coming through to cover as well. Because I would like to see Harrison Minton, at centre back at some point during the season. So, he's probably fifth. Fifth in line at the moment, you would probably say. But generally, I think it's a really good squad, and I'm very, very excited. And I think we'll have a positive result tomorrow.
And that's actually the point. I just brought the comment up from Barmy Army 1969 there, Ben, about the squad. And it's a point that I think Woody made on our last episode, that yes, 1 to 11, you might say it doesn't on paper look as strong, but the squad as a whole certainly does, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Last season we had about 15 players that you could actually call properly first team players that could slot in any time. Now we've actually got a proper squad and depth there as well. So if we do get a 2 or 3 injuries, it doesn't really matter. Now that will come through like October, November, when injuries start happening and get a few suspensions and the weather turns a little bit. That's when we'll probably come through as our strongest, because we've got the opportunity to rotate, which means you get less injuries. Which means you get better form. So I've never seen Swindon start a season in this position with such squad depth. I can remember. We've always been a bit shoestring and then see what we can pick up at the last day of the season. We just need a striker, and I'm quite happy to wait if we get a good one.
And Kieran, on that note, let's just briefly mention the transfer window again. We're still talking about players coming in. I know that Liam from Lower League Look, he's been actively promoting that McCurdy will leave by the end of the window. Do you think that will happen?
I can't see it, but you never say never in football. If we get an offer we can't refuse, then at the end of the day, I think we need money still, and I don't think we're as well a position as everyone else thinks we are. But if he gets a championship club coming for him, for example, or a high-end League One club that we play in Championship that come in with a decent offer that matches our valuation, he'll go. You can't hold him back, and you can't begrudge him for it. It's progression. It's the same as Jack Payne and all those that have gone to other clubs. The only thing is we'll get a fee for him. We won't let him go for under our valuation. We've got the driving seat with it. But you say if the rumours like Coventry, Millwall, that are coming in Championship, certainly you're not going to stop him from going. That's up to him. But I can't see it happening. I could see if at any time it would happen in January. I think he's going to be. A lot of clubs will see how he starts this season. If he carries on in the same vein of form he did last year, then I think January will sort of have a dogfight to try and keep him. Because I think at the minute he's sort of a risk for those clubs that are rumoured to be looking at him. But if he starts off the season as he did last year and carries on, then I think January we could be facing losing him at some point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Nick, just picking up on the comment that we highlighted there in the chat as well, the change in terms of substitutions, it is a valid point. That could be a season definer for a lot of clubs, couldn't it?
Absolutely. I think Lindsay said that he doesn't see that as being a change in how he'll put the side out. But obviously, allowing 5 subs, it's got to make a difference. And that's where we were weak last season. We had absolutely nothing coming off the bench. So I think that's going to be a massive advantage for us. We've got decent players. Time will tell how good they are. But on paper, we have got a really strong squad, which is what we lacked last season. Good first 11, but backup, not good enough.
So we're going to be going on to Harrogate in particular and previewing that in just a second. But we obviously did our predictions episode, but now again, on the eve of the season, if I just go through quickly, how confident are you of, let's say, playoffs or higher come the end of the season, Woody?
I'm still confident, mainly because I feel that come January, as I said in the predictions episode, I think that if we're not where we think we should be, we'll invest. And I think generally we might also invest earlier than that. If, when does the transfer market shut? Is it the end of July? End of August?
Yeah.
So I think if we don't start well, I think Lindsay might be given a bit of money to spend. And like we've said, all of us, I think, have said at some point, the more experienced pros tend not to become available until almost the day of the season, because they're still trying to get in at their current club. So I'm relatively confident. I know it's not voiced across the whole fan base, but I just think that we are a big team in this league, and we're one of those teams that can make a difference in January, as well. So yeah, I'm still confident. I still think top 3, to be honest.
Excellent. Love to hear it. That's a great start. Craig.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said in the predictions one, I think we might just miss out on the playoffs. Nothing's made me want to change my mind on that so far, but anything can happen. Like Woody said, I think January is going to be key. I think we'll be able to invest. We've still got enough room. We've got a few loan slots that we can utilise at some point. So I guess it would depend on how we do our business in January. But for me, I haven't got a problem with the recruitment we've made so far. Like Ben was saying, we're about a striker short and maybe 1 or 2 sort of backup positions elsewhere. But for me, this is such a tougher league from last season, as I said before. And that's the only reason why I think we will just miss out on the playoffs. I don't think we're going to be anywhere near automatics, but it's so hard to tell. We've signed so many players that have got potential, and that's a good thing. It's sustainable. We develop them, we sell them on, and that's great. But again, it's a risk, isn't it, to get out of this league? And I just, and as always, I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, I think at the moment, the way it stands, and I think Woody said a little while ago, our start for the first month is going to be crucial. We need to get off to a good start, and we need to be up there, because we know how quickly our fan base, which is no different to any other fan base, will end up turning on the players if we're like languishing in mid-table around that position.
Ned?
Right, yeah. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't do well. I've got to be honest. I think our style of play will automatically make us beat most of the teams in this league. I think we're gonna surprise. Maybe not surprise is the right word, but I think we'll be able to outplay any of the 3 teams that got relegated. I think we'll be able to outplay any. Well, I think we'll outplay Stockport. But it's just. I mean, essentially, I think our style of play will allow us to beat pretty much any team in this league, and as long as we can handle the shithousery and the anti-football, then we should be steaming this league. In my opinion, I think we'll finish in the top 3.
Nice. I love the positivity. How about you, Nick? Are you feeling as positive?
Yeah, definitely. We'll finish in the top 3, but I think the league isn't as strong as some people are saying.
I disagree.
It's going to be cut in 2 halves. So I think anyone from the top 10 is in a promotion shout, and the rest are going to be in a relegation battle. So I think there's definitely 2 halves to the league, and there are going to be a couple of surprises in there. I was the only one out on the limb that said Tranmere win the league, and Grimsby will get into and win the playoffs. So time will tell. We'll see how good or bad we are, and what if we know anything or jack shit about football.
Well, quite. How about you, Ben?
I think we'll be the best footballing team in the league again, with a team with huge pedigree and good ability. I think we're going to be quite youthful. I don't think our underbelly will be as soft as last season because we've added a bit more steel. But I don't think we'll challenge top 3 because of the indifference that youth can bring and inconsistency that youth bring. There's going to be some sticky patches this season. But I think we are a good bet to challenge for playoffs. I think we're going to be in that picture again.
Warren?
Disappointed if we don't make the playoffs. I said it on the preview episode. I honestly can't. I feel like the squad is a lot stronger, like we've all alluded to. And that's what you need in this league. And I alluded to it on the preview video. We've got a leader now. We've got someone that can take us forward, especially this McDonald is played at a high level. He's a strong centre half, someone we need, and he can take these young lads forward, and he will roll his sleeves up and he'll drive the team forward. And that is massive for us, because I feel like we've lacked that the last few years. We haven't had that leader on the pitch, and I would be really disappointed if we don't make the playoffs. I agree with what the lads have said. The start is key, because you get that confidence wave and you can just carry it on. But when we need those tough games, when it gets to the winter periods where we need to roll our sleeves up, we're going to have a leader on the pitch that's going to show us that way. And I think he's going to be massive for us this year. And I will be disappointed if we don't make the playoffs. I think personally, we are one of the best teams in the league, and I think we should be pushing top 3.
Lovely. No, I'm inclined to agree with you. That's exactly what I think as well. Mark?
Well, I don't think anything's changed since our preview episode, and I'm still thinking at this current moment in time between 9th and 12th. I just don't see yet that we've got enough in the forward line to challenge at the top end, or certainly for the playoff positions. However, that could easily change. Again, I alluded to it on the preview show that we could sign a player, and then I'll be as fickle as the next fan and say, well, we're back to HMS Pistol League because I can see us with a 20-goal striker. But I think genuinely the spine of the squad is strong. You look at, if you had Ward in goal, McDonald, you could argue Reed, and then Khan and McCurdy through the middle of the pitch as well. Chuck Williams into the mix. It looks good. It genuinely looks good, and I hope that it can gel. Say again.
Gladwin, Mark.
As I said, Williams and a few others, but we will see, Warren. I mean, don't get me wrong. I hope that Ben Gladwin has his most successful season ever and bags 20 goals and puts me, back in the box somewhere to say, look, I've still got it. But I'm not convinced. We will see. But ultimately, I think the big test is going to come for me when we play one of the fancied sides. So when we go to play a Stockport, we go to play a Bradford, and if we turn those over, then my opinion will change, because you've got to beat those sides that are fancied. And
last but certainly not least, Kieran, what's your thoughts at this stage?
We're going to languish in mid-table. We don't think much is going to have changed. We've got an arguably slightly better squad, but I think it's too inexperienced. We'll do all right at the start of the season. We'll get to a bit of rain in November, and after the young lads, Ronan Darcy will sit there going, fucking worrying about his hair. But I can't see us going up. I can't see us maybe challenging for the playoffs, but I think we're going to have a bad start, because if you looked at the Cardiff game last week, we were fucking shit. None of them talked to you. They hadn't gelled. We got a lucky 2 goals. I know they're 2 leagues above, but you still don't look very good. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I just can't see us doing well this season. In terms of going up, mid-table, we'll do all right. We won't be anywhere near the bottom, but I think we'll possibly have a bad start as well going on the last week. I just don't think they've had long enough to gel, and they've not had enough big pre-season games to sort of gel in. So I'd love to be proved wrong, but it's all about if Scott Lindsay's less arrogant than Ben Garner and does have a plan sort of B and is willing to change his tactics, that'll change a lot. But if you look at the games against like Carlisle or Rochdale last year, they came and got easy points off of us. They're teams that we should have been beaten, but we tried to play too nicely. They shithoused us, and it went wrong. So I think they're going to be, if we can learn how to shithouse teams ourselves and get over that and be able to beat teams that shithouse us, I think we'll be all right. But I don't think we'll be going up.
Okay, well, it's honest, and that's all we can ask of you. Please let us know in the chat, how do you think on the eve of the new season? Are you comfortable with how the squad is? Are you comfortable and are you confident of a successful season? We are going to head into our preview of tomorrow's game, and I am absolutely delighted to be able to show you for the first time something that a few of our panelists have been working very hard on, and something that we're going to see, I believe, for every away game this season. Can we introduce you for the first time? You've heard of the Ned Report. This is the Red Report.
Welcome to the new and improved Red Report. We should begin
that seems to have gone well.
For all the clubs this year. For me, Harrogate is the exact cross between Bath and Eastbourne. It's the geriatric, incontinent, wet stadium is a plethora of care homes, retirement villages, and various NHS outposts. If you love a bit of hot ball action at the finger, or a team strong of a fat badger, or just dribble into your pureed roast dinner, Harrogate is the place for you. The nickname is the Sulphurite, not because that's what most elderly people in the care homes smell like, but because of the nearby Roman flower baths. I think we can all agree this is the worst team nickname in football. Well, maybe apart from Pikey's for Gillingham. I wouldn't say Harrogate is tin pot, more like bone china teapot. We think you'll love visiting Harrogate, especially if you're of retirement age. Not if you love your Columbia White, but more of your Earl Grey.
And there you have it, boys. Everything you need to know about our upcoming visit to Harrogate. Mark, let me start with you, because you put out a tweet. You actually beat me to it, so I thought I'd just hijack your result about where people thought that the outcome was going to be. And it was 69% said that Swindon were going to win, 21% saying draw, and just 10% saying a defeat. So it's clear that the fan base are quite confident.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, Harrogate are one of the sides which are fancied for relegation this season, and I don't put us in that mix. So I would fully expect us to go away and win tomorrow. Even though it's the first game of the season, I don't think it's going to be the same kind of rollover as last time, but I'll stick my neck on the line and say we'll win 2-1.
Okay. And how about yourself, Warren?
First game of the season is always difficult. On paper, this looks just the perfect game for us, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Away from home after our away record last year, against a side that's predicted for relegation. But I wouldn't be getting too overawed. Whatever happens tomorrow, it's not panic stations if we lose or we don't win. You know what I mean? I think we've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Like Kieran alluded to in the friendlies, it's still time for the players to gel, and we've had a bit of a turnover in players, haven't we? But it's a game tomorrow where we should hold no fear. You know what I mean? We're not playing against one of those big boys. We're, you know what I mean, on paper, we've got the better quality side. So if we go on, like I said plenty of times through last season, if we go and install our style of football on any team in this league, I would be confident of us winning the game. It's just whether we're good enough on the day to do that. That said, I do fancy us tomorrow. I think we'll get off to a strong start. I can see us keeping a clean sheet, which I think would be massive. And I think I could see us winning 2-0.
I would certainly take that if it was on offer now, that's for sure. Yeah, no, 100%. Ben, yourself, are you in that camp of, 69% that are expecting a win?
Yeah, I'd rather not be playing a team fancied for relegation first up, because you like to play them once the rot sets in rather than first up, because they could probably be up for it and give you a game. But I think all in all, our quality is probably a little bit better than theirs, and I think it probably might be a scrappy game, just because it's day one and they always tend to be a little bit. But I see Swindon's quality going through, and that's another clean sheet like Wazza, I think. Goal each half, 2-0.
Lovely. Another 2-0 prediction. Nick, you're lacking in facial hair. Are you lacking in positivity?
No, never lacking in positivity. I actually think this game is a must-win for us. I think we've got to get...
It's game one, Nick. How can it be must-win already?
It is.
Calm down, Nick.
Every game is must-win.
Only 136 points left, lads. Come on.
Seriously, I think we have to win this game. I tell you, the one I'm more worried about is the first home game. It's against Salford.
Yeah.
It'll be typical Swindon. Like last season, we get a good 3-1 away win, and then we come a big home game, big crowd, and we lose 2-1 to Carlisle. So I'm more worried about the second game of the season, but we will win the first game, and I'll go 3-1 again.
Lovely. Kieran, you're back with us. What's your thoughts ahead of tomorrow on the eve of the season? You excited? You expecting a win?
To be fair, I'm not even excited about the season yet. It's just come round so quick. It hasn't really.
You're not going to be allowed to appear if you carry on. You're so fucking miserable.
It just feels weird. I know it's only July. It's only a week earlier, but it just hasn't. It's come around quickly. I'm sure once it's underway and I see Harrogate 3, Swindon 1 tomorrow, I'll be a lot more buzzing. I think we will win tomorrow because I think a lot of the lads will be up for it. A lot of them it's proving themselves here. So I think it's going to be a nice sort of hopefully summer's day in the place that makes fantastic tea. I think we should be beating a team like Harrogate because they shouldn't even be in the league. They're awful. Like they're a little tin pot side, should be in like National League. But I think it's going to be a win but I think heart says win. I think it's going to be a draw. But I think there'll be goals in it. But I think we just need to keep it tighter at the back. And I think that most important thing is I'd take a 0-0 draw just to sort of get that clean sheet under our belt. And hopefully if Sol Bryn's in goal, get his confidence up. But I think it'll be 1-1 with Angus MacDonald absolute bullet fuck header.
Right. Well, look, you've had about 2 minutes of airtime there. We're negative for 90 seconds and then redeemed yourself at the end. Ned, can you please get us back on track?
Yeah, sure. I'll oblige. I absolutely think we're going to win tomorrow. I do not see any reason why we won't win tomorrow. I think what we're looking at is possibly. I think it's going to be by 3 goals, and also I think that we'll start to have our new favourites from tomorrow. So it'll either be Khan scores 2, Wakeling scores 2. One of them bad boys are going to become the new hero. And to be honest, if you're asking me, someone mentioned it before, but I think Khan is like shoo-in for player of the season because I think he's going to be an absolute monster, and he's going to nullify Harrogate's midfield domination that they seem to have in their first game against us. He will nullify that because he's going to be here, there, and everywhere. He's going to take him out. We'll be able to, put our game onto him, and we'll absolutely leather him. I think it's going to be possibly 3-0, possibly 4-1, but we'll win by 3 clear goals.
Nice. That's much better. Love it, Ned. Craig, keep on the positivity train, please.
I'm going to kind of sit on the fence now, Fifey, and disappoint you. CJ took the words out of my mouth in the comments. It depends on who's in goal tomorrow for me. If Lewis Ward is starting, I reckon we could get a 2-1 win. But it's if Bryn's in goal, from what I can gather, I didn't watch the friendly, but the defence didn't look too confident with him behind them. Whereas when Ward was playing in the second half, it was a lot more solid. So I think, I can honestly see us maybe conceding even like 2 or 3 goals tomorrow, depending on who's in goal behind us. So it's and somebody else had mentioned on the comments about whoever's got the best defence this season is going to be key as well. I think, depending on what formation we play, whether it's 3 at the back with wing backs or traditional 4-3-3 like we had for most of last season, it really does depend. So for me, I think if Bryn's starting, we'll lose 3-1. If Ward is starting, I think we'll win 2-1.
Okay, Woody, last but certainly not least, what's your thoughts ahead of the opening day? You got your ticket in the end.
I did get my ticket in the end, so it better be worth all the stress that I've gone through in the last 24 hours. Well, we haven't got Josh Davison this time, and we haven't got Louis Barry this time, who scored the 4 last time out. But equally, on a serious note, Harrogate haven't really recruited very well, in my opinion. I do agree with Craig's points a little bit in terms of I'd be more confident of a clean sheet if Wardy's in goal, but at the same time on that, this is where I probably contradict CJ's point a little bit. I actually think it doesn't matter about the defence because I think this is going to be a league similar to last year where it's about just completely outscoring more than keeping clean sheets. There wasn't many clean sheets across the whole league last year, and I think there was a lot of goals last year across the league. Also, I think we had the highest scored Did we have the highest amount of goals scored? So yeah, I think we will win. I don't think we'll win 4-1. I think we're looking at probably just a nice. We'll have a 2-0, but we'll dominate the game. I don't think they'll threaten us too much. The pitch is relatively small, but it's a decent pitch for that kind of level. And I liked it last season up there. It was a nice little pub before the game. So yeah, it will be interesting.
And for those who were interested from the new and improved Red report, here are the stats that were presented during that presentation. Mark, talk us through some of the figures that have been put together here, please.
Okay, so obviously you can see that our record transfer fee was the 800,000 for Joey Beecham from West Ham, and obviously 800,000 is the litrage of Ovaltine consumed in the town of Harrogate per day. So that's an incredibly important stat for tomorrow's game. Needless to say, we're also unbeaten against Harrogate home and away. And obviously, if you're a lone striker playing for us against Harrogate, you'll probably score a couple of goals. So unfortunately, we don't have a lone striker, so that's going to have to change tomorrow. So that'll be good. More importantly, obviously, I think we know that we've probably got the second best opening day record in the last decade or so, and we've actually won our last 8 first games of the season. And the last time we lost, as you can see there, on the first day of the season against Barnsley back in 2005. And then finally, obviously, with our newfound hatred of Port Vale, the player to be sent off in that particular game was one Robbie Williams.
Fantastic collection of very critical match info in the build-up. As has been our go-to since we started, Woody, let's move on slightly now and discuss the women's side of the game, if we can. And we'll come on to Swindon Town in a minute, but we can't discuss women's football without talking about England, can we?
Well, obviously not. It's I think, it's been a fantastic Euros campaign for the women, hasn't it, really? I think the media coverage has been pretty top notch. I think I saw a couple of tweets from pro footballers, almost saying that this one is for those who have coached women's football as well, because, we do get that kind of sense of pride that you wouldn't necessarily get with the men's team because you don't feel like you have such an impact, but when I look at, I'm involved with a club that's only 2 leagues away from some of those international players. It's, it does give you that sense of pride, but I think, and this is going to sound really bad, but I always forget her name, the England manager, but I think she's made such a massive difference as well. Nothing wrong with what we've had previously, but she's obviously got experience with winning with Netherlands as well, and things like that. So, it's made a massive difference. We're playing such a good style of football. I see stories. I think Craig put one through about, I think it was your youngest, wasn't it, Craig, cheering 3 Lions and things like that. It makes a massive difference. And I'm a bit gutted because obviously, as you know, with my work commitments, I haven't been able to watch as much of the Euros, but I've managed to watch the recent games. But it's just great to see, and I genuinely think this is exactly what the country needed for women's football to push it through. But it also shows that you put a little bit of investment in the game, like we have. There's still a lot more to go, but if you put a little bit of investment, it does bring success. And you even have to look at the FA Cup prize winnings have, I think, gone up by nearly 600% per round this time round, except for the final. So that's just going to engage more and more and more people into the game. And like I say, it's on BBC One. Parents are watching it, kids are watching it. Ian Wright's speech, and I'm not a big Ian Wright fan, by the way, but his speech after the game was fantastic, about getting, I know girls that I've coached that didn't play football at school because their school didn't allow them to, and things like that. We need to get out of that way of thinking. Women's football was technically, if you want to be pedantic, was actually around before the men's game. So let's get rid of that. Yes, okay, it's never going to be level par. It will never be par with the men's game in terms of technical and physical ability, but it doesn't need to be. It just needs to be treated as part of a category of the game. And this, what England are doing is showing that. And I don't know if anybody else feels the same. And it's probably a question for all, really. and probably a controversial one. But the atmosphere is so much better at England women's games than it is at men's games. You know, you can hear it on the telly. You know, and I think that makes a massive difference as well.
I think, to be honest, Woody, just sorry, Craig. Just on that very point, I think the big thing for me is whenever England have gone 1 goal up in this tournament, or the women's team in particular, when they play, they actually continue to attack the game and they make it exciting for the spectators. I think the biggest contrast with the men's game is, you know, we'll quite happily go 1-0 up and then try and defend for 90 minutes. So it was actually, you know, fantastic to see that performance against Sweden, where it was just attack after attack after attack. That's what you want to see as a fan. So I think, from my point of view, that's what makes made it so much more exciting than the men's game.
They've been a lot better to watch. They're a lot better to watch. England go into games trying not to lose, and that's how Gareth Southgate does. He tries not to concede goals. He worries about too much about the opposition and says, right, well, if we don't lose, we'll try and nick one. But women, they're going to try and win the game. They know they're better than the opposition, so they try and out-football them. And they're cutthroat as well. They're ruthless. I just wish we took a little bit of that into our game. We might have won something by now, but so kudos to them. Kudos to them.
On that point, and again, we'll keep the conversation open before we talk more specifically about Swindon, but we're saying how this group of women are inspiring a nation, and it's without doubt it's true. They're inspiring a generation. But if the women do win at the weekend, do we think that could inspire the men to go and win the World Cup and see 2 England national sides in the same year win a trophy?
There was something on I read the other day, which I thought summed it up from what Ben was saying, that someone said that the England women's manager ought to take over the men's team. And the comment was, why should she take over a team that play worse football than she's playing with the women now? And that's not far off the truth. Like Ben said, the women is exciting, they're attacking, they're trying to score goals. Whereas, exactly, we sit back as a men's team hoping we're going to win, not expecting to.
Craig?
Yeah, I mean, I've loved watching the England Euros. I said on our WhatsApp group, I was just as nervous in that quarter final as what I have been watching the men's team, and I never thought I'd feel that way about women's football. I mean, I kind of got into it because I'm name checking here, but I work with Fran Kirby's dad. And when she first broke into the England team, of course, everyone at my work and everything, we were all behind her. And that was sort of my pathway into getting, you know, into enjoying women's football. And it's come on such a long way in the last 10 years, not just in this country, but I think across all of Europe. And it is great. You know, you watch that England women's team and they play, you can tell, and Woody and Ben and everyone else is spot on. They play with a lot more freedom, they do, than the England men's team do. But just generally, the game is so much better. There's not as much dissent. You know, there's not as much shithousery that's going on. I think there was the semi-final, France-Germany, one of the players dived in the box and the whole stadium booed and everything. But that's the only time that's really happened in the whole tournament. And that's what, you know, I love that. And I wish the men's game could take a leaf out of that book and be more like that. Forget all the nonsense, get on with playing the game. And the atmosphere in the stadium, I can't wait to go to and take my youngest to an England game. She loves football at the moment. And the atmosphere just looks absolutely outstanding. And I'd rather go there than go to the sterile Wembley Stadium and watch the men's team, to be honest with you at the moment. I mean, I don't entirely agree about the whole thing with Southgate, but that's a different sort of discussion to be had. But yeah, I've you know, women's football, and especially on the international stage, looks like it's going from strength to strength. And I'm also going to try and catch some WSL games as well next season if I can get it in. And yes, and also my as you can see there, yeah.
You got favourites, have you, Craig?
Yeah, I have. She knows that anyway, so yeah.
It goes without saying, from everyone at Fools Rush In, we wish the Lionesses the absolute very best. But Woody, let's talk Swindon Town then. The season, I believe, it starts a little bit after the men's, doesn't it?
Yeah, so if we probably focus on the first team, yeah, their season starts on the 21st of August. Which is still, I would say, relatively early, to be totally honest. not early for the National League, but again, they're not paid footballers. So we're effectively asking them to use the time that they might be on holiday. So we talk about important starts in the men's game. You almost as a women's coach, you kind of write off the first 2 weeks of the season because you know that not a single team's going to have their best 11 out because XYZ will be on holiday. Yeah, so Swindon kick off against Selsey, I think they're called SELSEY, which is a renamed team. I think they used to be called Chichester. And I'm guessing it's kind of down that way. I think they then formed with Chichester and Selsey and then just became Selsey. But yeah, so it'll be an interesting season. Obviously, new manager. There's been a bit of recruitment activity. A very mixed pre-season. Obviously, they had two very hard games at Foundation Park against teams in the higher levels. So, you can't look too much into that. And then had a decent win, I guess is probably the right term, over Bassett at the weekend, who are the league below. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting. It's going to be a hard league, and I think it's the first time for a while that they've had 12 teams in their league. It's always kind of been 11, 10 because teams have dropped out. So, and there are some, the promoted teams are really good as well. That have come up from the League 2 leagues below, similar to the National League South and North type thing. So yeah, it should be an interesting season.
And as for your now under 18 side, I've got to get this right. How's it all shaping up for the new season? Are we gone for more trophies, do you think?
Dry moment at the moment because we currently don't have a league to play in. So yeah, there's a lot of off the field politics at the moment. The league that we wanted to go in has folded for this season. Long story that I won't go into on this panel. So we're actually still searching for a league. Yes, that's Swindon Town Football Club searching for a league to play in. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I hope we do get one. We're putting a few appeals in. We've been rejected from one league. But yeah, so at the moment I've potentially got a squad of 23, 24 players at, dare I say, without scaremongering any of them who will watch this, we currently don't have a league with just over a month to the season. So.
Again, you don't want to, and understand we can't go into the full story and politics behind it, but are you confident it will be resolved? Or is it very much in the balance?
I think it kind of dwells down, the whole thing really dwells down to what we were talking about earlier, the popularity in women's football. The reason we're without a league is because Wiltshire can't run an under-18s league because they're not confident that they can get the players, they're not confident they can get the teams. So we have to go searching elsewhere. We wanted to go into the Thames Valley League. We've now got potential to look at the Oxfordshire League, the Berkshire League, the Bristol League. But they all come with, their pros and cons.
Things to consider as much as anything else.
Yeah, exactly. It's I mean, we're not too worried because I've got players kind of towards Bristol and I've got players towards Reading and I've got players towards Gloucester. So it's logistically, I don't think that's such an issue. But with other teams, especially when we look at the reason Thames Valley aren't running this year, is because Berkshire especially wanted to go off on their own league because of the travel. So now we're obviously Swindon Town trying to say, can we come play in your Berkshire League? So it's it'd be interesting. Obviously, it's a bit of a stressful time for me because we're still trying to do a pre-season. We're still trying to do, trying to do the right things, and I'm quite lucky that probably 4 or 5, maybe even 6 of them could play adult football now with the development side. But it is a little bit worrying time. But once we're in there, obviously our target will be, trophies. My aim is always to develop players, but I want to give them that winning attitude as well, so that they know what to expect when they get to the first team.
No, absolutely. Well, whatever the outcome, we will be following it throughout the whole season as we did last year, and we look forward to your weekly update for us. We hope your team's particular situation gets resolved, Woody, so that we can hear about both the first team and the under-18s. And of course, we wish you, and obviously Mark, with your side as well, we wish you both the very best of luck for the upcoming season. Cannot wait to hear what happens. Shall we play a game, guys? I know you are all very, very excited about this. So to set the scene for everyone watching this live and for those watching it back, We've been having a laugh through pre-season about different quizzes and games we could come up with, and I can't remember who it was. It may even have been me. But there was a joking comment said, we should definitely do a Fools Rush In Mr. and Mrs. sometime. And that was all they thought it was a joke. But no, I have to send a heartfelt thank you to all of tonight's panelists, wives and girlfriends, who have been very forward in coming when I approached all of them to say, right, can you give me a few things that the guys should know, but almost certainly won't? And we are going, hopefully, to stitch you all up tonight. All of your wives and girlfriends, as I say, have submitted questions of stuff you should know.
I noticed Kieran's disappeared.
Yes, Kieran has disappeared. He got scared. And how the points aren't going to be for getting it right. The points, you will get a point if you get it wrong. And basically, the person with the most points will be defending the indefensible. The person with the least points will choose somebody else to defend the indefensible. And I'm happy to throw it out to everyone watching that you can pick the indefensible that they have to defend. So stay with us to the end, and you may well select an indefensible for one of the panelists. So we are going to go with the order as you appear on my screen, which means, Woody, you're first up. Are you ready for this?
No, I'm wondering if she's watching. I'm hoping she's not watching. Oh, she's watching. She just messaged me to say I'm watching. Great.
So you have been submitted 5 questions.
5?
That's all it is. Now, to be fair, I asked for between 3 and 5. And most partners submitted. Some submitted more than 5. So fear not. And again, fear not. Kieran is also back. He's back in time for the game. So again, remember, you will only get a point if you get it wrong, Woody.
All right. So at least I win something.
So the first question, it's Alicia, right? Because I always tend to pronounce this wrong. It's Alicia.
Yeah.
Alicia told me what she's scared of. What is that?
Oh, bloody hell. I want to say taking off in an aeroplane.
Is that what you're going to say?
Taking off or landing, one of the two.
That is 1 mark against Woody already.
Yes.
Would you like a second guess, just out of interest?
I don't think it's spiders or anything obvious.
Flying ants.
What?
Well, that's not good today. They're everywhere.
I don't think I've ever seen her around flying ants. It's an unfair question.
Alicia described 2, we'll call them birthmarks that she has. Can you tell me what colour they are and where?
One's kind of like inner knee, I think, kind of area. I don't know I don't know how I would describe the colour. Like a tanned, light brownish colour. It's going to bug me because I think I know where the second one is, but I can't actually think of it.
I'm starting to feel a lot better.
I'm the easy one. Did you know that? Like, I think I'm just going to take the hit on this, to be totally honest.
Well, I will give you the first one. You got the colour wrong, how it was described. There's a pink birthmark on the side of her right knee.
Yeah, I knew that.
You did say on the knee. And also a random black spot in her left eye.
Oh, that's not a birthmark. It's a pigment. Right, okay. Yeah. Technicality there, I think.
I don't care. That's a second mark against Woody. This one's easy, Woody. This one's easy.
I'm not coming on the next episode anymore.
Does Alicia want to get engaged?
Not anymore.
That's an incorrect answer, Woody.
No, that's just no. She's told me if I asked her now, she'd say no because she's waited too long.
It's probably because if you ask where you're live on a podcast, it's not going to go down well.
Not directly to her.
So I guess the actual answer then, Fifey, is actually yes. But what she tells me is no.
I can only go by what she tells me.
Oh, then she lies. It's
Another
going to be the
mark, Woody.
first Falls Rush in breakup.
Two more for you, Woody, and you're on 3 points.
Yes.
How many tattoos does she have?
Take your time, Woody. Take your time.
Think about it, Woody.
Well,
I'll
if it's
tell
a
you what, I'll
group-
even be generous. I'll give you a tolerance of 1 either way.
But is a group of tattoos, so like she's got stars, does that classify as 1 tattoo or 4 separate ones?
It's tough, isn't it?
Basically, you've been properly stitched, Woody.
7.
I did give you a tolerance of 1 either way.
And it's probably
7
9.
is not the correct answer. 10.
No.
Well, I can't personally describe where her 10 tattoos are, but if you'd like to work it out after the show, then by all means.
Woody, you're in trouble.
Final question, Woody, and then your time is over for now. What is her favourite meal? Warren is loving this. Look at his little face.
She's really done me a good one.
Woody, I actually had you down to win this.
No, definitely not. I don't pay attention to anybody.
Can you remember her name? Give me an easy question.
Hold on. Let's not all get cocky yet. I'm the first one.
Fair point.
Woody's rattled.
Woody's rattled, yeah.
This is Woody.
Proper meal.
Got to be a timer on the answer, Fifey, surely.
Yeah, come on, we haven't got
We
all
are
night.
losing viewers as long as you sit here not doing
It'll be some Turkish dish. I'm sure of it.
Some Turkish
Anyone
dish.
who's listening on the podcast, if only you can see the pain on Woody's face right now.
Some Turkish dish, but I
Some
can't pronounce
Turkish
it.
dish is the answer. You're very close, but incorrect.
Oh, okay. Then.
It's that some Turkish dish should actually read traditional English roast dinner.
I've got a funny feeling you've been stitched, Woody.
Yeah, I think I have
Woody,
as well.
congratulations on going first, Woody.
Well done, Woody.
At least
Massive 5 points there.
she doesn't even know herself. That's why I've come to the conclusion. Split personality.
And then it was all fun and games, wasn't it, Craig? Until it was now your turn.
Oh God.
I don't know. I feel a lot better after Woody's one, but yeah, I might have spoken too soon, actually.
Would it make you? Well, actually, no. I'm not going to divulge this yet. We'll come to it when we come to it. But there's a little extra in yours from Vicky.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm gonna. The first question she's given me, I'm actually going to save till last for a particular reason. But again, you've got 5 questions to answer. What do you do that annoys Vicky?
How long have you got?
What kind of fucking question is that?
Breathe. I forget to do stuff a lot.
Breathe.
Yeah.
So the two of you that said breathing, that did actually come through in brackets with a lol. But the actual answer is you do this weird thing with your finger and lips that makes a strange noise.
Is it like when he gets drunk? His fingers get longer?
I want a demo now.
Yeah, what
Come
is
on,
this thing?
do the finger and lips thing, Craig.
Come on, Craig.
I've got red now. Oh,
What do
no.
you do?
Red army.
I just.
Would you like another question, Craig?
Craig, is this
Gonna
piece
cry.
like that? Yeah. It sounds very dodgy.
Oh, God.
Who
It's good job
apologises
I've got
the
this lamp
most?
pointing on me. You won't see how red I am.
Who apologises the most?
Me, without a doubt.
She put her.
No, that is bollocks.
Stitch do that. It's definitely you. It's definitely you.
She stitched me up a treat there, she has.
That's why you've got to apologise.
To be fair to Craig, it does say he'll say himself because he actually does. But me saying me will piss him off.
And then he'll say sorry about it.
Well done, Mrs. Craig.
He's going to say sorry in a minute.
It's amazing how well she knows you.
Well done,
You've
Mrs. Craig.
only been married a year. It's not even quite a year
Not
yet.
even a
is it?
year. No.
No.
It hasn't even been a year since the legendary stag do. Woody wouldn't know.
What could Vicky not live without?
I'm not that I'm not that sort of confident to say me, but oh God, that's a difficult one. What could she not live without? Chocolate.
Say you, Craig.
I'll just go for the stereotypical answer. Chocolate.
That is incorrect. What she actually said was, my children. But he might say, Diet Coke or Pepsi Max.
Well, I was trying to be too clever because I was thinking, well, obviously it's the children, but she probably would have come up with someone else to stitch me up. But I got her up my game.
2 points on offer here, Craig. How long have you been together, and what was the date you got together?
These are the ones you've got to know.
Yeah, mate.
Especially with the kids watching as well, Craig.
Oh, no pressure.
Good evening to
October-
my friend Bimble, who's joined in the chat as well. Grimsby fan.
October the 18th.
He's gone for it.
2009.
And that equates to how many years?
It'll be 13 years this October.
The actual answer is October the 18th, 2009. Well done, Craig.
I'm amazed I remembered that.
Okay, now I will leave this entirely up to you, Craig. We'll get the answer first, and then I've got a little something extra to tell you at the end of this question. What did you do on holiday that you vowed never to do again?
I don't know what she's talking about there.
Drink.
Okay, well, if it helps, Craig, I've been sent pictorial evidence.
On holiday?
I have been sent pictorial evidence, which it's
Is it
entirely
dance?
up to you whether you want me to share live on stream or not.
Yes.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Never do again.
I'll get it prepped just in case.
Oh no, you can share it if you want, mate. It's fine.
Go on, 5p.
I'm not
You
going
gotta
to
guess
be
first.
a bad sport about it. I don't know. I ain't got a clue.
Well, the answer I was given, and then you might want to decide if you want me to share this or not, is shave your chest hair as you weren't catching the sun.
Let's see the pictorial evidence, please. Thank you.
Now, are you sure you want me to share this, Craig?
Got to share it, please.
Christ, when she said on holiday, I thought she meant when we went to Weymouth last month. Christ, we've only been going out for a couple of years. This was only 10
You
years
are very
ago.
young in this photo.
Yeah.
Do it.
We do know. We do.
Yeah. Go on then, mate. Let's have a laugh. Go on.
Okay, where are we? Share screen. Window.
Might need to.
This will be great for people watching.
If you've just eaten, you might want to turn away.
Yeah, indeed. Hang on. I can't work out how to do this now. I need to actually practice this because I didn't think you'd say yes. Is that come up?
Yes.
So
Whoa.
it's
It's coming.
loading.
Some it is.
Ooh.
Oh, mate.
Sorry.
You do look young.
It's the peacock.
It's Lee Peacock's
Peacock without
special brother.
tats.
Just cock.
I think I fancy
what
it.
it's worth,
Gracie, don't. She's seen it.
Gracie was all in on it.
It's on my Facebook anyway, so it's not that difficult to find. But yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah, that
congratulations.
hurt. That did hurt.
That did hurt. Congratulations, Craig. I've got you down there for just 3 points.
Well, Craig.
But he's still winning.
Fine, Craig.
Ned, how are you feeling now?
Fucking shit.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh, this is going to be awful.
Technically, I've been submitted 10 questions for you.
Why does that not surprise me?
Just pick the 5 best ones, Hyphy.
Okay. Let's see. All right, let's ease you in nicely, Ned. Nice, easy one, yeah? What was the first dance at your wedding?
That was James Morrison. I'll Never Let You Go, whatever it's called.
I'll let you have it. I Won't Let You Go by James Morrison, yeah.
Well done. Well done. You passed that one.
What would Rachel's last meal be?
Remember me saying in the warm-up, I said that she would give loads of answers that she felt like at the time. This is a prime example of the question. Oh God. Roast dinner.
Incorrect. A ploughman's salad.
A salad is your last meal.
Ploughman's? Your last meal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's done you up like a kipper there, mate.
Yeah.
Why you ask me? You can have anything you want on earth. I'll have a ploughman's salad.
Oh, lovely ploughman.
If someone said to me, "You got a ploughman's," I'd just say, "Just kill me now."
The last thing you're ever going to eat ever. Well, I'm watching me wait. I'll have a ploughman's.
I'm pretty sure that's what they serve as standard, isn't it, on death row?
What was
dear,
Rachel's first job?
Back in those days.
We weren't together at this point.
Okay.
I just say.
So what? You didn't need to learn anything pre-Ned?
No.
It doesn't matter, does it?
Irrelevant history.
Not relevant, is it?
He's not Liverpool.
But it's this BN and before Ned. None of that matters.
Aren't they biscuits?
Yeah, delicious biscuits.
We are looking for a sponsor.
I ain't got a clue. Chippy.
The carpenter.
People around the house.
You were very, very close, actually, Ned. You were very close. Her first job was in a Chinese restaurant.
Oh yeah, I did know that. Oh, I did know that.
And you know what? Because I'm a nice guy, I was going to give you the point because it was takeaway until you said you knew that, and now you're getting a mark.
Oh, Ned.
Question number 4, Ned. Who is Rachel's celebrity crush?
Please don't say Ned Flanders.
Well, it's going to be one of about 4 people, so it'll be whoever she fancied at the time. It's either
Well, if it helps, it was submitted on Wednesday.
So it's either.
So who did she fancy on Wednesday?
It's either going to be Hugh Jackman.
Okay.
What's his face? Pirate guy. What's his? Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Or there's someone else that I can't even remember. So I rule them out straight away. So which one? Brad Pitt.
Correct.
Ned's doing quite well at this.
Well done. Last question. I will tell you afterwards, Ned. Once we finish, I will tell you what some of the other questions were.
All right.
However, this is the perfect one to conclude your round with. What is Ned's most embarrassing moment? For those of you listening to audio only, Ned has just thrown his headset away and walked off. He did say to us off air he was scared this question might come.
We may know this one already. Is this what I think it is? We may know this one.
Right.
Ned, I'd take the loss if I was you.
Do it.
Well, no, because even if he takes the loss, he knows I'm going to say it.
So,
how much detail do you think Rachel's given me?
I think she's giving you pages worth of detail for this. If I'm honest. Right, so basically, right, my mum was in a nursing home. Is this how it begins, Fifey?
I won't tell you until you're finished.
Okay.
That's what she
So
said.
my mum was in a nursing home, and I really, really didn't like going into the communal areas because I found it really difficult to talk to her in front of other people. Am I right so far?
I'm not telling you
I don't want to go into this too much. Right, anyway, so I'll just do it. Screw it. Right, so.
Let's just remember, Craig just had a young picture of him topless put on all over the internet.
Fair enough. Right, so we were sat down in the communal area. There was most of the elderly people were sleeping, and I was talking to my mum, and then and then all of a sudden this woman woke up across the way, and she looked at me and goes, "Oh, I like him." It's like, because I hate people saying nice stuff about me, you know, especially when it comes to carnal relations, and and she's going, you can have some of this, and started pointing at her groin.
I think this is his new embarrassing moment.
Especially when Fifey
I mean,
says that.
Oh yeah, you. Oh, it's like, yeah. So that was the moment that I died 1,000,000 times over. So yeah. So that was is that the one?
So the answer I was given. I mean, full respect for telling us that story, Ned. The answer I was given was when an old lady in a nursing home propositioned him. That's all I got told.
Thank you for the detail, Ned. I love it.
I think this is his new most embarrassing moment.
Only the internet, Ned.
Oh man, I've just died 1,000,000 times once again.
At the end of your round, Ned, you are on a very respectable 2 points.
Oh, it's not worth it though.
We moved on to Nick, and I had the pleasure of exchanging messages with Mrs. Oakus Road, otherwise known as Di. And we had a very nice conversation, and she equally found it difficult to think up some questions, but she did. And it's going to be very interesting to see how you do here, Nick, because compared to some of the other questions, they might come across easier, but because of the length of time you've been together, it might not be.
I'm trying to call him
How long
out.
have you been together?
It'll be 49 years this August.
More than double my age.
Was that
Yeah.
going to be one of the questions?
That wasn't one of the questions. Okay, so first of all, Di went on to say, Nick is not great on dates unless it relates to Swindon Town.
True.
So here's an easy question, and we'll put it into 2 parts. How many grandchildren do you have, and what years were they born?
Oh, you better get this right.
Better get this right.
Look at Warren's face. He's like, that's the easy question.
Yeah, that's
I told you said I'm not good with dates. Got 2, granddaughter and a grandson. And the grandson was born this year on St. George's Day, on the Saturday. And then the following Monday, I had my heart attack. So quite a traumatic time for Di. Lots going on. And my granddaughter was born on the 17th of October 2020.
Superb. Absolutely
Yes.
bang on, Nick. Well done.
You weren't going to forget the grandson there, were you?
No.
Okay, the second question The one and only time she had a weekend away related to a Swindon away game, where was it and when?
Ooh. That would have been Cambridge.
Cambridge is correct.
And I haven't got a clue when it... Actually, that would have been... Just sort of think how old my daughter was. She'd have been about 5.
Go on, Nick. You've got it.
93.
Sorry?
No, not 93.
Always tense, isn't it?
92.
1990.
Oh,
Nick.
that's good for me. That's good.
That's very impressive.
We're all gutted for Nick right now.
Okay.
Cheers, Woody.
Swindon is Nick's passion. Cliff Richard is Di's. How many times have you been to see Cliff live?
I've probably travelled as many miles taking Di to see Cliff as I have watching Swindon. How many times? It's been easy if I tell. We've been to Warwick Castle, I think twice. We've been to Lincoln. We've been to Cartmel up in the Lake District. We've been to Birmingham NEC. We've seen him at Birmingham as Heathcliff. And probably longest of all, we went to Portugal just to see Cliff.
Nick, you've done your time, mate. Fair play. You've done...
Well, Guy gets to see Cliff, I get to see football, so it's a fair exchange.
Cliff's probably more enjoyable, to be fair.
I don't think I've missed any.
You've earned your stripes, mate. Well done.
No, to be honest, music means nothing to me, but I take Guy.
That's the Rocky Robin Hacker, of course.
Well, I don't even know about that.
Fun fact.
I think that's it.
So how many? What's your final answer on a total number?
7.
Well, that's wrong. The answer was 10, but Di thought you would actually say too many, not too few. But congratulations, Nick. At the end of your round, you, along with Ned, are just on 2 points.
Good old Ned.
Right.
And then we come to Ben. As you know, Sarah is a
Why is
big
everyone
fan.
rubbing their hands together? Obviously, I'm going to hate this.
As we know, Sarah is a big fan of what happens on Fools Rush In, to the point not only did she already submit a fair amount of questions, I just need to scroll back up to see exactly how many. Where are we? Where's her questions?
37.
But while I do the scrolling, she also submitted more while we've been recording.
I'm sleeping outside tonight, gents.
So let's start. Now, Ben has been practicing, as we know. He got tested on what Sarah's middle name was. And after 2 hours of thinking, checking her passport and phoning her mum, he eventually got it. So let's start with some nice easy ones, shall we, Ben? What is Sarah's favourite colour?
Oh, her favourite colour, I think, is purple.
You think it's purple, but what are you going to say?
Pink.
Mint green.
Mint green. That's what you've got to have the pinch in. That's what we have
Right.
Yeah.
It's right up.
And there's some phones in mint green as well.
Sarah told me her 2 fears. There'll be a point for each that you get wrong.
Right. One of them is Morris dances. And I've got
No, it isn't. I found that incredible. She's scared of Morris dancers.
One is Morris dances. And one of the best times I've ever had with her was once where we got
Hang on. Are you about to say one of your best times is you took her to see Morris dancers and she was petrified?
Morris dancers. We were in Oxford Town Centre or City Centre. I know. She goes to the
you're allowed in Oxford.
Natural History Museum there. Anyway, in the town centre. and I'm looking about, and there must have been like a Morris dancing convention because there was loads all over the place, and there was gothic ones, there was ones with masks, scary masks on, and she was shitting herself right through town. I thought this was hilarious, so it's like trying to stitch her up as much as I can. It was brilliant. I had so much fun.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Ben. The second fear?
As much as she's enjoying herself right now, but yeah, no, it was good. She's petrified of Morris dancers.
The second fear?
Well, the other one's not so like obvious or like so I don't actually know it. So I am going to say, well, she's all right with spiders and stuff like that. So she won't tell me what any of it, any clues or anything at all, or what drop hints. All she said, like I said, like. So I am going to have to go on a wing and a prayer, and I am going to have to say landing on a flight.
Well, it is about going down, I suppose. You were close. Going down escalators.
Go.
You wanted to get your head out the gutter. That's outrageous. Going down escalators was the answer.
Escalators, yes. Yeah,
What would she take to a desert island, Ben?
Oh, fuck. Her best friend, Jay.
Nope, incorrect. Knitting or crochet?
Stitched writer.
Should we keep going, Ben? Some more quick fire ones. Favourite chocolate bar?
Favourite chocolate bar? Bounty.
No, dairy milks. Just Favourite flower, Ben?
Daisies.
Nope, sunflower. Now you've got two options here, Ben. So you've got a good chance with this one. Favourite night of the year?
Oh, favourite night of the year is no, it's night. It's not a night, is it? So favourite night of the year. Give me a minute.
No. Craig's like, no, we want more.
Bonfire night.
Bonfire night.
Bonfire night.
Correct. Well done.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
The date you met.
Right. It was in March.
Okay.
And yeah, no, it was in March. And like we've been like texting for a friend and everything. And I turned up to a house. When I turned up to a house, I had Chinese.
We've heard this story.
And she had already eaten. So the good news is I get to eat all the Chinese to myself. It was brilliant. And
what date was that?
I believe that was March 31st.
Do you know what? I'm going to give you it with the tolerance of a day. It was the 30th of March.
Thank you. I knew it was
close enough. Now, I'm going to keep going, Ben, because everyone seems to be enjoying your quick fire questions. Besides, you're already got more points than Woody, so we might as well just keep going. Sarah's favourite season?
Autumn.
And no, we're not talking like 2020/21.
I know that. Autumn.
Autumn is correct. Her celebrity crush?
Her celebrity crush, Hugh Grant.
Freddie Flintoff.
Oh, fucking is Freddie. Used to be Hugh Grant because it's she loves that movie.
What every rom-com that's ever come out.
Exactly, that's what she's. And Hugh Grant, she loves it. Hugh Grant. Yeah.
True or false?
Hugh Grant.
Ben, there's one of two options here. True or false? She can roll her tongue.
False.
Correct. What annoys her far more than it should?
Me eating.
You eating is correct. The biggest regret?
Eating me.
No, she actually says a lot of nice things about you. Not travelling more before she started work.
Right.
What else have we got? Can you ask Ben what happened on the first day he had to pick Jack up from school?
That's not when I fell asleep, was it? Was that when I felt right? Okay, I was working And I had to drop when I was at Verka. I had to drive all over the country, all over the place, and I had to and I stopped off because I was feeling tired behind the wheel and I had a little kip. I usually set an alarm. I didn't, and then I woke up and it was like way past pickup time, and I was in like the middle of bumfuck nowhere on some service station. It's like, oh, I was supposed to pick Jack up from the school, and yeah, so I
that's remarkably accurate. Fell asleep in a Waitrose car park 100 miles away.
Yeah, I remember. I got in a lot of trouble. That stick to the memory.
Ask Ben what happened when he went to his sister's wedding.
Oh fuck yeah.
This will teach you for shit housing all them quizzes, won't it, Ben?
Yeah, well, it was my sister's wedding, and you know how hectic getting everything all sorted, all stuff, and we're getting the kids ready, and we're getting Sarah ready, and everything. We're getting there. We get in the car, and we turn up, and it's all stressful anyway. She's already a bit of a move in with some breathing or something, and we turn up, and everyone's getting dressed, and I'm like, fuck. I left my suit at home. Yeah, so I was dressed in normal civvies, and everyone else was all dressed up. I was like, oh shit. So I had to it was in Stroud, so I had to get back in the car and drive all the way back.
No, is that true, Ben?
Did Sarah
because the answer I got was he had one thing to pack, his suit. What did he forget? His suit. With 2 hours to go, he made Sarah's mum, who wasn't invited to the wedding, bring him his suit. So you didn't drive all the
way. Minor detail.
Mini detail.
Yeah, me and Margaret get on. We're safe. You know, she likes me. I'm all right with that. I'm all right, Margaret.
Right, I reckon move on to Wazza now because I reckon he's going to be the first person to get him all right.
I've got one more for Ben. I've just got one more for Ben. Ask Ben about when we first got together and he called me drunk from the darts. What happened?
First night.
When we first got together and you phoned me drunk when you were at the darts.
Oh, she's even there.
I was drunk. I was pissed at the time. Did I propose?
No.
He started singing down the phone, and although it woke her up, he thought he did it because he cared. No, the bloody song was "Can't Help Falling in Love with You."
Yeah. Take my. Yeah, I started. Yeah.
Congratulations, Ben. We put you through the ringer there. Sarah's
I got some right. I got some right. I thought honestly.
Well done, Sarah, as well.
Yes, very much.
Sarah.
Yes, it was very presumptuous, Ned, because he had more questions than anybody else, and he got just about all of them wrong. So
I got some right.
So we move on to someone who, like Woody, I'm expecting great things from because, and I quote, so struggling with these. Oh, hang on. What else did we have? Basically, Ellen said that Warren is very good, unsurprisingly, and is likely to get them all wrong. So she's done her best for us.
All wrong.
Question number 1. What is her favourite film?
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, got it. Bend It Like Beckham.
Bend It Like Beckham is correct.
Ease.
Wow. Told you.
Where was your first date?
Swimming game. Bet you.
No, it wasn't.
One of your customers arranged something.
We went for a walk around Lydiard Park, I think.
Lydiard Park is correct.
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
Smooth. I'll get it wrong now.
What do you argue about most?
It's got to be like my laziness or something like that. It's got to be something similar to that.
Golf.
Oh, yeah, golf, yeah.
Warren got one wrong. No spark that moment. He got one wrong.
Divorced now, man.
Yeah.
And then, interestingly, Ellen took a different approach for you. Instead of telling me what your most embarrassing moment was, she's asked, what was her most embarrassing moment?
Ooh, wow. Caution, team.
Now, you be careful what story you're about to share here, Warren.
We know how to play this. I wonder if she's watching.
She will do now.
Anything to do with Cramperoonie?
Oh.
What would she have said was most embarrassing moment?
The only one that comes to mind is that we went out for dinner with a group of friends and she was absolutely steaming. And she's literally got up, she's had too many cocktails and she's beelining it to the toilets. And that these people are sat there eating her dinner, and next minute she's just put her hands there and just literally puked in her hands as she's walking past these people to eat their dinner. And that is the only, she is literally horrified by it. And I was like, these poor people are eating her dinner.
I mean, she'll be delighted that you shared that story, obviously.
Don't tell me it's wrong.
It's not it, is it?
Do you remember where that was by any chance?
Oh, it's Bristol. What's that buffet place in Bristol?
Zaza's.
That's it. Zaza Bazaar.
In which case, I'm afraid that's incorrect. You almost got every detail correct, apart from she told me it was when she was sick in her hands on the Revs dance floor.
Oh, she's done it
Is
twice.
that a regular thing? Is that a party trick there, was it?
I'm going to have to bring this up with her, I tell you.
Congratulations, Warren. You escaped with just 2 points.
Well done.
So, last but certainly not least, we have Kieran.
Oh,
now,
he's watching as well. Oh, this is going to look
I
horrible.
know. Now, Kieran's is an interesting one because he's obviously in the newest of the relationships. But also, as he put in our WhatsApp group, he got a text after the questions were submitted saying something along the lines of, "You're going to be shit at this game on Friday." Thank you very much to Sophie for submitting these.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Let's
You
see.
tell
How
Fife he's single,
now,
can't
in
you?
fairness, there's no awful questions here, and all stuff that I imagine in a fairly new relationship you've obviously asked.
This is me.
Question number 1. What is her favourite flavour of cake?
Favourite flavour of cake? Chocolate.
Incorrect. Coffee.
Oh, fuck, it is as well. Bollocks. Fuck, I knew that. Without walnuts. We talked about this yesterday. Fucking hell.
Don't worry, mate.
What is her favourite film?
Practical Magic.
Correct. Biggest fear?
Spiders.
Clowns.
Oh, fuck off. She's watched it, but she hasn't watched Arachnophobia.
I thought it might have been Christian.
Now, in fairness, she did put, there's loads of options, so he'll probably get this up, and he's probably never listened to which one's the worst.
Oh, fucking, they're all bad.
Favourite Disney film?
Little Mermaid 2.
Little Mermaid 2 is correct.
Oh, well.
She did go on to say to all the questions, he'll probably get all of these wrong because he doesn't listen. And then your last one, you've actually done quite well. You're on a 50% hit rate here. And then I'm going to read this as it's been worded to me. Okay. Also, just to throw him off, one you can really rip the shit into him for. What was her daughter's middle name?
Grace.
Grace is correct. She didn't think you'd get that. So Kieran escapes with 2 points as well. Congratulations.
Fucking coffee cake on a one.
Here he is. Mark.
Mark's back with us just in time.
So I've been using Woody's Wi-Fi.
Last but certainly not least, we go to the questions submitted by Mrs. PCM, otherwise known as Kelly. To win, Mark, you need to get less than 2 points.
I ain't confident.
5 questions submitted.
Go on, Mark.
You can do this. We all believe in you.
Go on, fella.
What was the last book she read?
Oh, fucking hell.
I haven't heard of that book.
She reads an awful lot, and to be honest, I haven't really paid much attention to the one she's reading. I know where it is. It's downstairs in the lounge on the coffee table. I don't know what it's called. Sorry.
It's called Clara and the Sun.
Yeah, it probably is.
Which country would Mrs. PCM most like to visit?
Ooh, Australia?
Colombia.
Ah, okay.
Johnson Coke.
What does she want for Christmas?
A pony.
A pony is correct.
She wants a pony every year.
What is the one thing that she couldn't live without?
Ooh, her kids.
A cup of tea.
Wow. I can't wait to tell the kids in the morning.
Fuck the kids.
And then I'm just question number 5. I'll ask the question in a second, but she goes on to say afterwards, if he knows this, he's got some explaining to do.
Don't know it, Mark. Don't know it.
Don't get it wrong.
Where do you keep the spare toilet rolls?
Oh, I know where we keep the spare toilets, in the airing cupboard.
In the airing cupboard is correct.
Does he not change the toilet rolls by any chance?
We need some context for that, Mark.
You just well, when you finish the job, when it runs out, you just easy to forget that you need to replace the toilet roll when you've used the last one. Surely.
Yeah, no, I'm with
like...
you. We've got kids like that.
No, it's not.
Right, Kieran.
Gents, you've been absolutely great sports to participate in this, and thank you as well to your wives and girlfriends. I very much appreciate their time. Without question, Ben lost. We had a 3-way tie for the lead with Ned. A 4-way tie with Ned, Nick, Warren, and Kieran all getting just 2 points against them.
Craig, Ben, and Mark, you're terrible.
I actually love the fact. I love the fact that I didn't get a single question right, and Ben still lost.
I got about 3 right. I got 3.
Thanks, Sarah.
So what
Sarah,
I'm going to do,
legend.
if anyone watching this would like to submit a defend the indefensible for Ben, we will let Ned and Nick and Warren and Kieran decide which of the others has to do a defend the indefensible, and they can select what it is. So will it be Woody, will it be Craig, or will it be Mark that also has to defend the indefensible? Ned, who are you picking?
I think it's only fair because Mark's actually picked me for the last 2 times. So it's only fair to return the compliment.
Nick?
Yeah, I'll go Mark as well.
You're getting it next time, Nick. That's for sure.
Warren?
Just for the fact that Woody didn't get one right, I've got to go with Woody. I'm sorry.
Was there? I'm slashing that Save on Tyres van out there.
And Kieran?
I've got to go for it as well. I think it's unfair on Mark. It's got to be Woody.
Yeah.
It's got to be. And for the reason he left the stag do early, so I'm still not forgiving that either. Left me the Christian alone.
So that means it's 2 votes apiece. And as you got no votes, Craig, you can have the deciding one. Will it be Woody or will it be Mark?
Oh,
I think it's great.
On the spot.
You can't sit on
Woody
the
left
fence,
your
Craig.
stag do early.
Oh no! Oh god! Yeah, I think I will go for Woody.
Yeah.
So we've got Ben and we've got Woody doing defend the indefensible. Gents, take some time and use the private message chat, which I know Woody can read, but he can't have any saying it, to decide what you want him to defend. Ben, yours has been submitted.
What? Oh, it's bloody. Oh, I know it is. It's Liam, isn't it?
No, it's not Liam.
Adam?
Sarah.
I'm I'm just trying to work out the best way of wording this for you. Okay, let's try it this way. Grown men should not spend all of their free time doing podcasts and sharing transfer news on Twitter.
Hi, Sarah.
If you could defend that, please, while the guys decide what Woody will be defending.
She will use this against me, you know. Right.
Come on, Ben.
Record.
Can I just have a minute just to prepare myself?
No. Get on with it.
This is my hardest one yet, you know. Even harder than the Sam Parkin one. Grown men should not be going on every single podcast mentionable, purely for the fact that they're all purely the same and they're always accessible and they're quite dull to watch. You should really just stick to the one, which is obviously the number one in their homeland. And everyone who haws themselves out is just looking for attention, really. They just want to, you know, they just like, it's like all the thing they talk about, and they should actually spend a little more time with the people that they are closest the most, and and family and loved ones, because Twitter is an addictable, vicious thing, and it can be quite like planning. Yeah, no, it's
That was a good effort, Ben. I'll give you that. You struggled to bring it to conclusion.
That was a horrible one, because I do love the pods and I do love going around, and I do spend too much time on Twitter. I know that. I'm sorry.
I'm just looking through the chat at all these ones for Woody, and I have to say, guys, you're not taking it easy on him. What have we got here? Craig wins the internet. Love that, Craig. Yes is the answer. So I need to read Craig's.
This was Woody's for the last one, which obviously he didn't have to do. So,
wow.
Okay then, Woody. So the
I like how nobody voted Craig, and Craig's never done one.
I have done one. I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
He has.
Oh.
Fight.
Yeah, I did the one.
Your defending indefensible is, if we piss around with the ball at the back like last season, then I think the fans should take matters into their own hands and shout forward at the players.
I mean, to be fair, how can you score goals when you're just pissing around with it around your own area? I think fans should literally go on and whisper into Sol or Wardy's ear this year. Just say, pump it forward, get it up to whoever the useless striker is up front, so we can try and score some goals there. If they don't do it, they might as well do a pitch invasion, because we're bloody class at that. Just jump on the pitch and just take it up there ourselves, because either the ball will still go forward, and likewise, we'll probably still lose the game because we still won't be scoring goals, and then the game will be abandoned. And to be honest, this pissing around with it at the back is just ridiculous. None of our defenders can pass the ball 6 yards anyway. So what's the point in it? Just get that ball forward, man. Just get it forward. If you can't get 11 paid professional players to do it, we might as well take Fat Joe, Fat Gary, Fat Michael, and Big Dave out on that football pitch and let them pump it forward themselves.
Poor Joe, just because he didn't turn up. That's well harsh, Woody.
Fucking horrible. You horrible.
Well, he should stop shouting forward.
Well, I have to say, I don't know if you guys agree, but I think Woody won that one hands down.
Woody did win. Woody won hands down.
Ben found it hard to defend himself.
To be fair, the other one would have been easier.
Listen, gents, it's been an absolute pleasure doing this live episode with you tonight. It's been an absolute joy doing Fools Rush In the whole time we've been doing it. Long may it continue. Thank you to anyone and everyone who has watched this live, and anyone who watches it back. I hope by the time you get to this bit, you've enjoyed it. Safe travels to everyone going to Harrogate. Bring back the 3 points. Let's start the season with a win. Come on, you Reds.
And a good night from him.
And before I forget, because I've already forgotten 2 prompts to do it, Craig, talk socials.
Oh yeah, Thanks, again, thanks for everyone who's interacted with us on social media. We're now on Instagram and TikTok. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you've enjoyed this today, please hit the like button, because it makes a difference to the visibility of the channel. And we want to get to as many Swindon Town fans as possible. Hit subscribe and the bell notification, and then you'll always have us come up in your YouTube feed. If you're listening to us on a podcast, please leave us a review if you've enjoyed it. A 5-star review will be brilliant. You can write whatever you want in the comments. You can take the piss out of the panel all you want. You could even say you'd rather have on the panel Football Phil, Billy Piper, and 2-Minute Bob, and it won't make any difference to us. So yeah, leave us the 5-star review, and that'll be fantastic. And of course, share us all over social media where you can. And thanks for your support so far.
Can we get Billy Piper?
And all that's left to say, lads, to the new season is cheers. Come on, you Reds. Let's have a great year. And until next time, thank you very much to everyone again for watching, for interacting, and for taking part. From everyone here at Fools Rush In, goodbye.
Up the piss taking Reds.
Take my hand, take my whole